Good morning. Welcome to the Breakfast Club. This is Joe Shoup. It is Tuesday. It's December the 12th. We're getting close to Christmas. We're in the holidays. And I want to first of all, welcome you. And secondly, in the event that we are not here next week, I still may not be available. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah. And thank you for participating and attending the Breakfast Club each and every Tuesday. You may notice we're in a little different location, and we may be in the same situation next week. So again, I just want to, in the event that we're not here, I want to thank you for the entire year of listening to the broadcast. So that being said, we're going to continue the conversation. And that conversation is about duplication. It is impossible to build your business the way you want to, the residual income that you're looking for, without duplicating the business. Otherwise, you would just be in a sales business. And we're not in the sales business. Yes, sales occur. Yes, people buy the products, and we are certainly looking for people to buy whatever it is, and whatever company you're with, buy your products and services. We are truly in a people business, in a communication business. And the difference between our brick and mortar business and the networking arena is simple. We don't have a location. Our locations are people, and they're in their homes. People work from home. And so we don't have people passing by and traffic and so on. We must create the traffic. It doesn't matter what product you have. If you feel good about your product and the product is what people want, create the need for it. And if you have created the need for it, or there is a need for your product or service, you certainly have to get that product out to the marketplace. And in our business, again, we don't have a building to show for people to walk by. We must develop a database whereby we introduce people to our business. Now, most of the people, not just listening today, but who listen and who have been in this industry, make little or no money. We always say that, and that really gives us a wide open market for the company we represent at the moment. Now, of course, we have a few different companies, but we're more interested in helping people regardless of the company they're in. So we chose a company that has a history, a long history of helping people. We believe that, and I think you can see this throughout history, that the residual income is easier to come by when you are dealing with the tools in the business. Tools meaning autoresponders, leads. I was in the lead business for a long time, and people needed a database, so they purchased leads. They still do that today. So you need to find a database in order to present your product or service. And we chose to use a tool for people to come look at our business, which offers a tool for you to build a database and to communicate with that database. So the three things that you absolutely need. One is a database, or you're not in business. We know that. Number two, you need to organize that database. So people over the years have developed what is called a contact manager, which also includes an autoresponder system. It's a tool. I kind of think they misnamed it, autoresponder. Automatic responder. I think most people know what that is, but I think they kind of misnamed it. It doesn't really tell the story. I like to call it an automatic invite system. Automatic invite, which means that you can add people to your database, into the contact manager, push a button, and start sending them invitations to look at your business. Now, that makes a lot more sense to me than trying to explain what an autoresponder is, because most people confuse the letters in an autoresponder. There are two parts to it. One is invite them to look at what you have to offer. And two, after they look, After they fill out what is known as the capture page, they end up on what is known as a landing page. Not every video, not every part of an autoresponder is a landing page. The first one is considered a capture page, where you give people a little information, pique their interest, and they fill out information, go to a landing page. The landing page gives more of an explanation and the ability for those people to register. Some people will register without talking to you. Most people want to speak to you. And I think people make a mistake in this industry, thinking that you're just going to send these emails out and people are going to sign up because you got great emails, great invitations, great videos. Normally, it doesn't happen that way. If you're looking to build a business without talking to people, I think you're making a mistake. So the three elements, the three things necessary are your database. So you need a database, right? Number two, you need the contact manager. And number three, you need to learn how to communicate to your prospects. And in addition to that, you need to learn to communicate with your new people, with your people in general that have actually joined your company. That's the basics. That's how you build a house here. Without those three things, the chances of you succeeding, developing a residual income is slim to none. It just doesn't work. We belong to a company called iWebAtool. Well, actually, the company is called iClubBiz. The tool they have inside the company is called iWebAtool, Internet Web Tool. That tool is the contact manager. iClubBiz is a company that offers many options for residual income, different streams of income. But what we're looking for the interested people who have a company already, and most people do in this industry, obviously. Some people are looking for something new, not making money, they'll try another one. And I suggest that that's not the problem. Problem, clearly, is in the understanding of what you need to do. So I'm going to ask a question. And obviously, we're recording this, so I need you to write it down for you. No one's going to see it other than you. I answered the first question I wanted to ask was, what do you need to do to be successful? Well, there's the three things. The database is really important. That's the start of it all. People to talk to. When you're in a brick and mortar business, you have a lot of people to talk to. Put a sign out front, newspapers and so on, and let them know you have a shoe store on the corner or a delicatessen or whatever it is. That's a lot simpler than what you have to do here. Here, you need the database to express what it is you have to offer. So here's my second question. You've been in the business with a company now, assuming that you've been with the company, any company, for 2 months or more, but at least 2 months. How many people have you recruited? Now, I know people don't like to use that word. The truth is, it's a valid word. It describes what you need to do. You can hide it any way you want, but we have to recruit people. We have to find the interested party, give them the information, and hopefully register them with the company, and I call it recruiting, which most people do. How many people have you recruited in the last 60 days of your business? Now, if you're in a position where the key to this whole thing is develop or be part of a system whereby recruiting never stops. That's the key. Now, how many people have you actually recruited in the last 60 days? So just write that down, because it's important for you to look at. That's, first of all, a good way to gauge your business right now. Take a look. We're coming up on the new year. If you haven't made any money, you're not making money, you need a new game plan. And the game plan, believe me, is sitting in front of you in those three particular basics that you need to incorporate into your business. So how many people is it? And certainly you won't be writing this down for anybody but you. Now, if you have, your answer is less than 5, you have some problems. That means one of two things. You either don't have a database, you're not communicating with the database, you don't have activity. You're waiting for someone else. You're studying, you're learning, filing papers, getting on calls, hoping that magically someone below you that maybe you have recruited is going to go build your business. Now, I can tell you, one of our team members, relatively new with our company at iWebitool, has recruited 30 people in the last 60 days. Probably less than 60 days. Now, wouldn't it be nice that if you found that person? Now, I didn't find Tony. He's a direct result of Jan, who went to work, didn't sit idle. I can tell you, if she finds another Tony for the other side of her binary, she's going to be sitting very pretty in the next 6 months. So what is it that has prevented you from getting 20 people, 10 people, 10, at least 10, 5 a month, 1 a week? I suggest it's activity, because you don't know what to do. You've called enough people, you've talked to enough, you sent enough emails, you went to social media, and somehow those people aren't following you. They say you want to see a good leader, turn around and look and see who's following them. Gauge that on yourself. If you think you're a good leader, turn around. See who's following. We shoot straight here at the Breakfast Club, and that's all we're going to be doing in the next few months, is to be talking about what it is you need to do to get your jump start. We're getting to the very best recruiting month of the year in January. December is very slow, although you could never tell that by Tony. An exceptional worker who understands this business, knows what he has to do, follows up, talks to people, and registers them. And that doesn't necessarily mean everybody he registers is going to do what he does. We know those numbers, but I can tell you what he does understand. He understands activity, because he knows that you cannot control the result. You can only control the activity. Tony just completed my communication course. Not because he needed it, but because his people probably need, well, not probably, do need it. One of the biggest people in the company is finishing the class tomorrow. She is a well-known author and recruiter, and she's very big in our company, been with the company over 5 years. And even though she has success in business, when we explained the class to her, she wanted that class right away. Took the class, doing part 2 tomorrow, finalizing it. And has already told people, you need to have this class. And next week, the owner of the company will be taking the communication class. Why? Because he understands database, contact manager, communication. This is $1 million income earner in our industry, who understands that there are little hurdles here. Well, for some people, big hurdles. The biggest hurdle is to get in your mind and believe that maybe what you've been doing for all these years needs new direction. It needs a new set of rules for yourself. You need activity. And the question then becomes, what activity? So you might want to write this down. After you wrote down how many people, then what activity do I need to do to get 5 more people? What do I need to do? Not just activity. What do I need to learn? Remember this. Here's something to remember. People don't follow people. Just because you called them and you're giving them all this information doesn't mean they're following you. People don't follow people. They follow courage. What does that mean? It means that if you're courageous enough to speak to people with integrity, answer their questions professionally, and move them in a direction of registration, people will follow you. People don't follow people. Just because you gave them the information doesn't mean they're following you. People follow courage. And you have to have enough courage to learn what it is that you need to incorporate into your business to be successful. It is mind-boggling to look at a $10,000, $20,000, or $40,000 check in your hands written out to you. Looking at that check will make your heart drop. Now, you might not want that kind of income or think you ever get there. That's fine. That experience is something that, when you get the $5,000 check, I know these feelings. I know how this works. Seeing that kind of income establishes you're doing something right. That doesn't happen by accident. It only comes from activity and doing the right activity. As Peyton Manning says, doing the simple things over and over and over again with precision. Do you do the simple things? Do you send emails, social media? Do you connect with people? Do you say the right things, or do you beg them to come into your business? Or is the perception that you're begging them and trying to convince them? Is that their perception? The name of the class I'm talking about is called the Networking Communication Class. Subtitle, Terminology, Perception. It has to make sense. In other words, the terminology you use when speaking to a prospect creates a certain perception in that prospect. And that perception had better make sense to the consumer or to the prospect, or you will not get that person to follow you. And if you have enough courage to learn how to do that and then apply it, they'll follow you. People follow Tony because of his courage, his confidence. Courage comes from confidence, from doing the activities. Look, he's not new to the industry. And Jan, God bless her, had enough courage, I should say, to call him. Even though they were connected in another company. Don't remember who was the upline or so on. I think Tony was. And we go back to the basics. Database. Contact manager to organize the database. Communicate. It can't be any simpler than that. But I'll tell you what's not simple. Communicating with people without knowledge. That becomes a very, very difficult task. Because what comes across is how inexperienced, unprofessional, and unqualified you are when you're not prepared. So, we will preach this forever. Because I believe the reason the statistic in this industry is 95% make little or no money, it's probably higher, is because of education in a lot of areas. And more importantly, learning who you are in business. Sounds a little strange, but in the communication class, that is covered. Who are you? When you go to work for IBM or any company, local, small, mom and pop, doesn't matter. You have a task to perform. You know who you are. You know what your job is. Here, most people don't know what their job is. They just don't know. And therefore, they have no direction or plan. Followed by no education on speaking to people, not understanding certain techniques. I don't mean tricks. I mean serious, good business thinking. Look, Einstein told us, it doesn't matter if you're a fan of Einstein or not, but it only makes sense what he said. And you hear us quote that all the time, and you can hear it in the class. So, be a task for you to look it up and see one of his quotes. Education, right? And success, all tied together, is the result of thinking. And that's basically what he says. It's the training of the mind to think. And if you're on a phone call, a conversation, even if it's just writing, it's back and forth, Skyping one another, chatting, you still have to be able to think, not try to just promote, convince. Thinking, where are you in the conversation? What is this person really about? How do I approach? How do I get them to registration? You do that by listening, not by talking. So I know we go over this all the time. And it's important. I go over it all the time because I know this is the problem. It's not the company. I don't care what company you're with. It's not the company. I mean, occasionally it is. But truthfully, this is about you establishing your business as a business and training. Get an education. Here is a woman leading the company who was willing to say, I could use more education. I'd like to take that class, Joe. Coming out of it saying, oh my gosh, everybody should hear this. Just told that on our call the other night. Took the class and says everybody should have that class. Now, I don't have any big clothes here for you to say, you know, here's how you get the class. Here's how you get it. You contact me. Go to the Breakfast Club broadcast at gmail.com or jpshoop@earthlink.net and ask me about it. That's not what I'm here to sell. I'm here to sell to you is a wake up. That's what I'm selling, a wake up. Learn these three basics in business. How do I get the database? Well, you can buy a database for sure. You could go build one. That'll take a long time. Tony's built a big database over the years. Okay, so he has an advantage, but you had that same chance. Could have done that years ago, built the database, but you chose a different route. You can buy a database, and then you don't know them. It's a cold market, and you better communicate with those people effectively because they don't even know you. Why would they listen to you? People that Tony's calling and talking to, they all know him, and they listen to him. Why? Courage. They hear his confidence, and they believe in what he's telling them. Join a company, no matter what company you are representing, to get first of all, to get a database, because they do offer a database here. And on top of that, a contact manager, a true professional autoresponder system, invitation system, follow-up system. There's the two elements. And finally, learning how to communicate. Tony teaches them. We'll teach them. I believe the company is going to take on the communication class and teach people. That's what you have to do. So this company offers that. Now, in addition to that, streams of income in the company. You can get paid by promoting your own company using a tool that costs you $12.50 a month. Cheapest in the entire industry. I should say the least expensive. It's by no means cheap, but it's the least expensive that I know. $12.50 per month, which allows you to earn an income if you tell other people about the tool and get into not only a fast start, but a binary. So you get two sources of income, right? That's just the start. Jeff Evers, the founder of this company who developed all this, signed agreements with other networking companies, and you as a member of iClubBiz can promote those other companies, sell their products without even joining the company. Healthy coffee, colostrum, travel, Bitcoin, law, weight loss. He was smart enough. He's the only person I know in the industry that did this. All these agreements that if you came in and you just use the tool. You might want to tell that database about the healthy coffee. Maybe you'll have 20 people on a regular basis buying the coffee. You don't even have to join that company. There's no quota to buy. You don't even have to buy the product to get paid. It's a unique concept that Jeff came up with long ago, and it works. So there's another source of income from all of those other companies. Now, if you don't even want to do that, that's okay. Just use the tool to promote your own company. If you want to tell the people in your company about the tool, then you'll get paid for that, fast start, plus in the binary. How about a matching bonus if you qualify? I'm not here to sell you on the income here, although there are many streams of income. I'm telling you that the second part of business, database, contact manager, keep track of everything and do it right, do it professionally. And in addition, as a reward, you can promote other stuff. Why not? But if you only promoted the tool, if you only use the tool to promote your business, you're going to be way ahead of the game and spending $12.50 a month. So with that said, we will continue to say this. This is our theme. It's education. We teach people how to think, how to run your business effectively. Part 2 tomorrow for our leader is about running your business. It's also about what a director or a person that you use as a three-way connection should be saying to your prospects. You should know what that person is going to do so you know who to take them to, because you do need to do that, introduce people. Now, the last thing I want to tell you is we talk about this system we have, because if you asked anybody in any other company that I know of anyway, explain their system to you, you're going to have the same thing over and over again. Come in, call some people, do this, get them over to me. Our system also, we incorporated, we brought to the company, our group with Claudia, myself, Tony, we developed a committee. So when you have a new prospect and they come aboard, I mean, imagine telling a new person who's just recruited another new person, tell them how to run the business. Our welcome committee, our human resource department, so to speak, it is our group that's doing this. They introduce them to us. We schedule a time. They first come in, they get their welcome letter, they're getting started procedures. They help them through the first couple of steps and connect them with the committee, who then can talk business with them and ask them why they've joined the company and what goals they actually have and what would you like to achieve here? How much money would you like to make on a monthly basis to make this worth your time, and so on? What is your time frame? How can we help you? We don't, everybody's time frame, everybody's goal is different. So how can we help you? We have to know what you're trying to achieve. Then we can help you. Then we communicate back to the person who brought them in and tell them what they need to do to help that person along. It's called a true co-op, by the way. Every company I ever worked for had a department like that that helped people move along as they came into the company. And that's what we do. That's part of the system. So, with that said, happy holidays. I hope you take this conversation seriously and ask yourself the questions I told you to ask. Well, I asked you to ask yourself. Look at it. Evaluate where you are. A year ago, you had some plans. I can tell you, I have a handful of people from another company who had all these unbelievable recruiting plans that they were going to do X, Y, Z, and now it's time for them to evaluate. And I know they're not hitting their targets. I know that. I have, I'm still connected, and I have friends there. I know what's happening to them. Why? Didn't follow a plan. They really didn't want to hear about the communication class. They want to hear about databases. They just thought that this would magically happen. And I think I may have said this. If I didn't, there's a Philadelphia Flyer hockey player many, many years ago who used to say, success is not the result of spontaneous combustion. You have to light the fire. So my suggestion to you is light the fire. Start the blaze. Start to understand what your business is. Learn how to get a database. Learn how to use a contact manager to communicate with the database, and also learn how to communicate with that prospect and with your people. So with that, I hope you have a wonderful day today and a wonderful week and great holidays. Be safe out there. And in the event that I'm still not available next week at the Breakfast Club here, I wish you happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. I hope it all goes well for you and that you are truly safe with you and your family. So with that, have a great day, everybody. Thanks for being here at the Breakfast Club, and we'll look forward to seeing you hopefully next week. Have a great night, everybody.